Hey you guys, it's Lynnea, and today I'm playing with the May 2019 box from the Hedgehog Hollow. It's full of so many products. There's a stencil, and then there's 3 large oversized stamp sets. And today I'm going to be using the Sophia Bouquet stamp set, and I'm using this large floral cluster. And I'm just kind of positioning it on a piece of watercolor cardstock. This is Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock. And I'm not stamping it yet because I want to stamp it over some watercoloring. You could definitely stamp this and heat emboss it first, but then there would be like puddles in the embossing. And I didn't want that. I wanted a smooth embossed image. So I'm going to use my pastel set of watercolors here. This is one of my favorite watercolor sets, and this is from Prima. And I just love the assortment of colors in here. I love that there's some deeper, richer colors as well as some pastel, and the yellow and the orange are super bright. So I love this little palette here, and it's what I've been reaching for lately. So I have a 1/2-inch flat watercolor brush, and I just started adding some color. I have a light pink, and then I added some dark pink at the bottom. And as I watercolor, I'm kind of heat setting in between my colors. I wanted there to be some mixing, but not too much. So I started with that pink, and then I put down that bright yellow color. I love that yellow. It's super gorgeous. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, and the brightness of this one I just love it. So I'm going in now with the citrus color, which is like a pale orange, and I am adding that to the top of that yellow stripe so it kind of meets the pink and blends a little bit. Then I will dry that. Finishing up here, I went all the way down with yellow. I added some of that paradise color and some pool party. I'm adding that lilac color now towards the top, and then I wanted to add some more pool party to kind of finish that off there, finish this rainbow. And it mixed with the green at the bottom, so it does have that subtle difference, but I really love how this turned out. Of course, I used some of the brown in that palette to add some spatters for texture. I always seem to be doing that when I have a watercolor background. And now I'm going to take the floral cluster from the Sophia Bouquets stamp set, and I use my anti-static powder tool because I plan to heat emboss right onto this. And when I use my Misty, I'm trying my best. I'm like a CPR stamper, so I tend to push and squish the ink everywhere. So I am trying my best to stamp once and then stamp again, both times very lightly. But when I did my second stamping, I showed you very quickly there, I must have moved my paper because the lines were blurry, and this really is a fine detail stamp. So I'm going to try it again and just push very lightly and then lift up carefully, and you can already see here that my lines are much more detailed and clear. So I figured I would just grab this black piece of cardstock, heat emboss it on with white, and then I'm just going to use my scissors to fussy cut around it, and I will leave myself a little border. That way I can just use some foam tape and mount it right on top of my botched heat embossed image, and no one will ever know that I messed up in the first place. So now it's time for me to pick a sentiment, and between the 3 stamp sets, there are so many sentiments that you could choose from, but I really tend to go for the ones in the Sophia Frames stamp set because they have a gorgeous script, and I especially love the one that says "a little handmade happiness." I feel like you could use that for any occasion, and I tend to make a lot of all occasion cards. That way I can just send them out whenever I need them. So I stamped that on a piece of white scrap cardstock. You can see I messed up other stamping on the back of that one too. And I used the Black Nouveau Hybrid ink from last month's box. And now I'm just finishing up using some clear Spectrum Noir glitter over the top of this black heat embossed image. And that is going to finish up my card. I'll use my T-square ruler just to make sure my sentiment strip is placed correctly. I hope you enjoyed this video, And if you want to see some still photos, you could head over to my blog or to the Hedgehog Hollow blog, and you'll also be able to find links. This box is sold out, but there are already orders open for the June box, and you're going to want to make sure you jump on board for that one because it is as gorgeous, if not even better, than this box. So I hope you guys will all head over to the Hedgehog Hollow shop. Grab your subscription box so that you'll never have to miss out on a box again. And I thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.